let's turn that shit down, my dude.
Yeah. Man, I gained 10 pounds eating the red and the green M&Ms, bro. I gained 10 pounds so quick it don't. I'll chop it up today. How you brothers been for the week, man?
Oh, we've been good.
Man. We've been good.
Yeah. We can't ignore the ratings. I mean, this light skin thing is working for me and Derek.
I heard it's more market. Where do we start?
Yo, what's up? Welcome back to Let's Chop It Up. Please follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Like and subscribe. Ring that bell. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Make good comments, the good, the bad, and ugly. We always will get back to you. What's up, my brothers from another mother? How you been? What's going on with you? Ain't talked to y'all in 7 days. Talk to me. What's going on with you, Derek?
Hey, man. I'm all good right here, man. You know, the last 7 days have been up and down. I'm enjoying the weather today. You know what I mean? Made me look a little forward to May. It felt like a little May, little April. You know, I'm ready for the cookout a little bit. I love the barbecue at any time. So I'm really looking forward to starting up a grill or something. So I enjoyed that. You know, I hope, I think we're going to get some trash coming in the next couple of days. So I'm enjoying that for the day. Had a rough day. Started off, had a little fender bender, in the just at the job in the parking lot, company car, not too cool, whole 9 yards. So wasn't too bad, just more like swapping dirt. Just kind of set up a bad beginning for the day. It was early this morning, but I think I rebounded pretty well. Spent a little time with my family this evening, and I get to do what I like to do, which is spend time with my mans. Right here, all of y'all, and everybody who is viewing and listening right now. So let's chop it up, y'all. I'm really happy to be here, of course, as always. So, my man Rob, what's going on with you? What's happening?
Everything good, got out today just like you said. The weather was beautiful, unpredictable. I was really shocked how warm it was today. Ran some errands with my wife or whatever. But last night I went out with my wife and a friend of mine, because I don't know if I ever told you this. My wife's she plays poker. She's doing poker tournaments now.
Oh, I know that.
And yeah. She's just starting to get into it, but she always played poker. But last night it was pretty good to watch them play, and the two of them got down to the final four of all the poker players that were there. And my friend Johnny, shout out to Johnny, he got down to second place. Samantha took fourth and he took second. So they did their thing pretty much considering it was the second time they were actually in the tournament. So I was pretty proud of that. But I was also enjoying myself at the bar because I was having me some adult beverages. Yeah.
Daddy juice. Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, actually, because of the poker tournament, the drinks are actually really cheap. You know what I'm saying? They were selling like $18 buckets of beer and stuff for 5 beers. And stuff, but it was a great atmosphere. It was a good night, and it gave me another reason to sleep late and get another nap during the day.
Always.
And I always got to throw that in there. Yeah, but other than that, everything is good. My kids are good. It's good to see you guys. Be back on Let's Chop It Up.
Yeah, let's chop it up.
How you doing, Kelvin?
Oh, I'm good. It's good to see you, fellas. First, I'd be remiss if I didn't start by asking if you guys can keep my friend Marsha in prayer in her recovery. So just please pray for her. And then also, much like you guys, I've been enjoying this weather. I had to make a decision though with my car, and my car is not electric. So since it runs on gas, that's like $4.19 a gallon. My car is parked. I'm tired of the foolishness. And let me tell you something. I got to go to Manhattan a lot. I'll tell you this. I will walk through the projects, Bloods and Crips, and the Ku Klux Klan meeting to get to that train versus driving in that car. I'm going to tell you that right now. So that's just what it's going to be. And then when you do drive, I hit a pothole the other day, and immediately tire just shot. You know how you get like a bubble or not, the tire, it's just shot. I mean, so it's looking kind of gray on this traveling and stuff like that. So I'll deal with the pandemic and everything else, but I'm about that public transportation right now. So other than that, it's gonna get worse when the natives come out because it's getting warm. And you just had like a pre-native meeting today. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just had to go out on the corners and test that they could do their chin-ups and pull-ups and everything like that on the corners and stuff. So this is preseason right now. You know what I'm saying? With the warm weather, you know what's coming. So other than that, everything's good. Talk to me, D. What's the deal?
Wait, Kelvin, I got a bicycle in my garage. I can sell you if you want it.
Yo, I'm coming. I'm on my way there right
the gas prices are getting high, man, as hell, man. Especially with World War III about to break. I think about to get really high soon.
Yeah, man. I've been trying to talk to my Russian connects, but they ain't calling me back. So
you guys know some black Russians?
I know a couple. You know it is.
Yeah.
What up with you, man?
Nah. Speaking of natives, man, I mean, my week is all right. Nothing really spectacular. It's like one of the programs we got a young kid, 13 for a gun charge. This kid could barely spell, but he had a gun. So we'll see how that goes with him. But besides that, everything else has been smooth, man. Like I said before, the girl knew her son killed himself. The funeral service was today, and Shauna went down there to pay the respects and everything like that. So I don't know if Shauna's gonna get on, but shout out to Shauna for going down there for the VA. But nothing else, brothers. It's been a quiet week. It was warm today. It got cold real fast. Fast.
Oh, yeah.
Simone says it was 50 degrees less than 5 days ago. Now it's 20, 30 degrees outside.
Yeah, it is.
But that's March and February, y'all. That's how it goes. What up, Norette?
Yeah.
Lady on the check-in.
Hey. Yeah, it was t-shirts in the day, snorkels at night.
Facts. And I don't know how it's supposed to be icy, kind of mix and all those other stuff.
Yeah.
Like, God damn. That's only on Fridays. The weekends in New York are supposed to be sunny but cold.
Listen, we're almost out of it. February, we get through February, then we'll.
Sometimes March is funny. Sometimes it's funny. Yeah,
March can jump a good.
But
I think
psychologically, you just feel better when you can get through December, January, and February. You just kind of feel like those are the heavyweights right there. You know what I'm saying?
Feel like the winter's over when you hit March.
But that wind from March be whipping.
Oh yeah, but at least it's getting lighter. Don't you feel like it's getting lighter earlier?
Daylight savings time is next week, right? Or this weekend?
Oh yeah. No, not yet. I don't know when.
I thought it's in March sometime.
What do you say?
It's in March.
Daylight savings time.
Oh, daylight savings. Yeah, I think it is coming on.
They need to get rid of that. It's antiquated now.
Yeah, they just need to go to keep it to the whatever. I don't even know how to look on this joint. What
Casper.
Oh, it's on the 13th.
Yeah.
On the 13th. So it's right around the corner.
Yeah, we got to get off this topic. Old people talk about the weather all the time.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna move on, man. So let's chop it up already, man. Let's get to some hot topics here, man. The Buffalo Bills wide receiver Stefan Diggs allegedly hooked up with two chicks at a hotel for Valentine's Day, but he had them on two different floors. Not like two chicks together. Two chicks on two different floors. My kind of guy, but that's a long time ago. I'm just saying, man. I don't understand. The motherfucker got money. Why you put him in the same hotel when you Stefan Diggs? But anyhow, your thoughts?
Yeah. We had this conversation before. You can't it's just humanly possible for a person to be in two places at one time, right? So I just would love to see how he just kept going back and forth from room to room. Now, I see the problem here. He didn't want to disappoint anybody. You know what I'm saying? So he had two women, same hotel, two different rooms on two different floors. I don't understand it. Like, okay, so when you go to sleep, somebody you ain't coming back to. Like, it's just the most bizarrest thing. You're not going to be able to pull that off.
He probably played the odds and figured who go to sleep first.
Yeah. But the thing is, remember back in the day, D, long time ago, what would you do to get out of this? You would break up with one of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's around Valentine's Day. That's how guys used to do it.
Yeah.
Start an argument over some bullshit. And then you would break up with one of them. Yeah. So you could, because you can't be in two places. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a question. How do you think the average young guy, maybe, let's say, under 26 years old, that's a multimillionaire, that's an athlete or entertainer, how do you think, is it possible for them to just be monogamous?
Is it possible?
Everything's possible.
I'm sure there's somebody out there doing it, but I'm going to say that the chances are like a little slim.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you're 20-something years old. Your testosterone is probably running like fire because you're an athlete, you're working out.
Right.
So I mean, it's going to be pretty hard. Me personally, I don't think that athletes that young and that rich should be in committed relationships because it's only going to be problems.
Yeah.
And then think about this, Rodney. Both of them, neither one of them would break up with him. Like, in other words, they're not gonna. I mean, what are their alternative? You get out of here, you NFL player. I don't want to see you again. I mean,
you rich NFL player.
Right. You know,
the mascot is
me personally, I don't know why guys. I don't know why guys play the game. Just be honest and just say, listen, I see other women. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, dude,
you're right, Kelvin. Some are gonna accept it.
They have so much money, you can do that shit.
You can do it.
You can make tell you, listen, we all gonna live together. And them chicks like, yo, what? This motherfucker make $15-20 million a year. We can work this shit out.
Yeah, the thing
work
is,
this shit out. When you have money, it's different. The conversation is different with these chicks.
It is.
You just got to be careful with the businesswoman, though. That's all.
Thank you. That's why you the boo, babe. I'm calling this other chick over right now. Sister number now.
Yeah.
She said it's all good.
He could have said, this Valentine's Day is not for you guys. This is for me. So,
who do you love, baby? Who do you love?
Teresa, meet Stacy, because we all stay in the same room.
Burn up. Yeah. Now think about it. If this happened in Buffalo, he definitely got a lot of options. Them chicks ain't nothing up there in Buffalo. I'm like, yo, Miles, this is so, like you said, right? This is so, we in this together. They're like, bet you make $15 million a year. Yeah.
It's unnecessary. It was unnecessary. He's basically, like I said, he's making a clown of himself. He can't pull that off. He cannot do it.
You know who was very, very open about it? I remember one time somebody was saying on the radio when if you remember, Jason Kidd's ex-wife found different numbers in his phone.
Yeah.
And some other woman was on the radio like, you used to be one of those numbers in the phone. Like, in other words, these guys, you know, these guys a lot of times have so much fame, so much, so many prospects that, I mean, I don't know if the average man can handle all of that opportunity. I mean, look at Derek Jeter, 20 years at shortstop. People used to have signs, Derek married me and stuff like that. His claim to fame was he only dealt with women that had a career themselves. But the average guy, if it's your weakness, you're just not gonna get through it.
Michael Beach has his current wife and ex-wife living in the same house. There you
go.
Damn. Goddamn right.
Yeah.
I ain't riding with that one.
My ex-wife is living with me.
The ex-wife is in the crib? No.
She must have been cool as a fan.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, she's still in the crib. Then why is she your ex-wife? Y'all should still be together.
He must have fucked up.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you think like think about it? How do these guys find a wife once they're already famous and rich? Because if you look at somebody like LL and stuff like that, they went back to the high school, junior high school sweetheart that knew them before they was famous. There's some value in that with a lot of people. At least this person definitely didn't come for the money and the fame because I didn't have the money and the fame. When you have the money and fame, doesn't it always make you think, there's a part of this, based on, she knows what I do. She knows. That's why supposedly Eddie Murphy came up with the script for Coming to America, saying, how could you find somebody that doesn't know who you actually are as far as your worth? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, that's I agree with your point, Kelvin. I think that it's pretty difficult for you to be famous, rich, and then find somebody that you could feel doesn't want to be with you for that reason.
Right.
So that's why I said, like, you're young, you're rich. I don't think you should be in committed relationships. You basically, it's like you said, everybody's one of those numbers in the phone. You know what I mean? And until you're ready to settle down, maybe in your 40s or your 50s, then other than that, you shouldn't be committed. That's
everybody can't handle that.
Everybody can't handle it. Yeah.
I was trying to find the article. The girl that he was cheating on stole somebody's woman. I mean, stole somebody's man too. So it kind of kept boomerang. I was trying to find it, but I couldn't find it. So that's what some people were saying, like, it's good for her because she stole somebody's, what is it here?
Some guys appreciate a loyal woman over a woman that wants the money. I think most guys,
definitely.
No, that's true.
But when you're in your 20s, you just want the bigger booty.
Yeah, but the thing is, you being young, you're not with all that money. You don't believe that anybody can be loyal to you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he's doing it himself. He's running around himself.
Yeah.
That's right, people. Ain't no way I'm staying in the same house with my ex. I literally left the house expeditiously. Yeah.
I don't know about no ex-wife living in the house. That's a little bugged out.
That would be a lot.
Evander Holyfield player. Remember, he had that big old. He had that whole compound, man. Back in the days, he had all his children's mothers and whatnot all living on the same land.
I don't want my ex-wife living across the street from me. I don't even want to.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Facts. I don't even want her in my dreams. I wake up, scream, beat myself to death. And she wasn't fucking. Oh, Stefan Diggs, the girl stole Tiana Taylor's man. So that's what'll happen. Ain't that some shit? Yeah, Tiana Taylor, she got a nice little body. She got a little hard face sometimes. Her body's sick. Hard face.
She's still with your boy. What's his name? That used to be the Knicks.
Iman Shumpert. Yeah. I've been like Tiana Taylor got them hard cheekbones like them Jamaican strippers when I was in Jamaica. Like they beat themselves a rock. Like they put their powder on foundation with stone.
They're more than anybody I know. You leave me speechless. Like I don't even know if sometimes I don't even know if I'm able to say something. I'm like, I'm gonna get this girl too eventually.
Yo, listen, the ugliest strippers I've ever seen was in Jamaica. I'm sorry. I take a baby to Jamaica. I'm sorry.
He'll double down on it too.
No.
Yeah. You just have to repeat it. He's going to drive this one home.
If you want me to lay it up, he gonna reverse dunk.
No, I'm serious. They look like a mixture of Shabba Ranks and Buju Banton.
See, he's still going. You see, he's still going.
Yeah, he's hitting the three.
He's gonna drive it home.
Three.
Yeah, I'm just saying with Patra bodies. That's what I'm saying.
Go ahead, D.
Tiana Taylor to me.
D, tell us how you really feel. Tell us.
I'm sorry. I mean, what time is it? Make sure I keep on going.
He said they look like they got beat in the face with rocks. That's what
he's going for that record.
Come on, man.
He's about to break that scroll record, break his own record. He holds all the records.
I just don't think the ugliest strippers in the world. Jamie, I don't know. Jamie was with me. I'm not sure. That might be that night you went to the ATM and spent all that money, but I'm not sure if that night. That's another subject.
Now you about to burn Jamie. You're gonna burn Jamie down. Go ahead, burn Jamie down. Go ahead.
Let me see. Oh man, speaking of somebody getting beat in the face, Michigan basketball coach Juwan Howard was suspended for the rest of the regular season. This piss-colored dude was mad as a motherfucker. Got mad.
He looked mad there. He looked like he ready to slap somebody again.
He smacked the shit out of him.
What up?
No, when he was young and he was in the Fab Five, he was always smiling. He was a nice kid, back then.
Yeah. But he gave that guy like some Wolverine. He said, "I'm a Michigan Wolverine." Smack.
What do you think? What do you think of the punishment?
I think it was just for me. I'm sorry.
The punishment?
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I'm surprised he has a job. I'll be honest with you.
Rodney, thank you.
Yeah, I'll be surprised. I'm surprised that he has a job. That's just my honest opinion.
Yep.
Now, I mean, because you got to remember, you're the freaking coach. You're the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to set a precedence for sportsmanship to your players. You was in the brawl with your players.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's lucky to have. I'm really surprised they did not fire.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I have to say, I tell people this all the time. I'm not a fan of losing it. Like I'm talking about when you just lose it. When you lose it, and then 10 minutes later you at a podium. Like I gotta admit, I should have thought about that. Like certain things, Juwan been around this game a long time. And I was always taught that if you feel disrespected by an opposing coach, then beat them the next time. That's all. Now, don't get me wrong. There should be culpability of the other coach because he definitely provoked it. The other head coach definitely provoked it. When he just looked at his mask and said, what he said. The reason I mentioned the other coach because he only got a fine in one game, and I thought he was more instrumental in it. But Juwan has to know better. You as a leader, you got to know better.
Kelvin,
we got to show people the video.
You got to know.
Kelvin, Juwan, his punishment was more severe. Juwan slapped a white man on TV.
Caught him good too.
Yeah.
He said, "My name is Mr. Tip."
You can't get away with that shit.
For people that didn't see it, Jamie, can you show the video so people that didn't see it? I don't know how they didn't see it, but please show the video from the fight.
The bigger question be, will players be suspended?
Yes.
Because those players basically are the byproduct of what happened before them.
So
yeah, he got him.
Yeah, so I don't like listen. My woke family, y'all motherfuckers got to stop the bullshit. Black people do some bad shit too. Everybody jumped in my DM sending me this some bullshit, some sellout brother saying he should got suspended. They don't understand him.
Are you serious? I didn't see that with people.
If I show you my DMs right now, I said stop sending me the shit because listen, if Juwan Howard, like Rodney said, is the leader, if a kid would have got hurt, and this would escalate something bigger. What could he say then? Oh man, I'm sorry. He would have lost a star player for the March Madness, or a kid would have got really broken up. What if somebody got hit in the jaw and died? You know what I'm saying? What if they turned to the Rumble in the Palace thing? You know what I'm saying? Like
Danny,
that's the thing, man.
D, you got a perfect point there. People could have came out the crowd and got into that fight. That could have been a mass hysteria, and it would have all been started over coaches.
Yep.
He could have wound up being in jail over that shit.
Yeah.
I thought they got off easy because they could have suspended him for the tournament.
Yeah.
Are they tournament now?
No,
he can still go.
Just
5 games.
Are they going to the tournament?
Well, you don't know. You know how to go.
Oh, right. They still got their conference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but it could have went crazy far, man.
Yeah.
Damien's one of the motherfuckers right there that jumped in my DM. That motherfucker.
He said punishment is warranted, but they're really ignoring the coach, provoking it though. You know. Yeah, okay. Man. You know, regardless of anything, though, Damien, you know, he's got to be a cooler head, and you know that margin of error is a little bit shorter for us anyway. So you know, you got to keep that in mind as well.
Now, Damon, I do know what you're talking about. I saw the video. The other coach did kind of provoke it, and he actually did put his hands on him with his grabbed him by his arm or something like that. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, Juwan Howard took a swing at somebody. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's just another level. You know, Juwan Howard shouldn't have took it no further than an argument, at my point, because you know he would have had a lot to lose.
David says facts. Don't start now. Won't be none.
Think about thing, right? Think about thing with Juwan Howard. Think about thing. He's what 6'10", 6'9". I wonder if he would have did that with Ben Wallace or what we said Charles Oakley. What if you would have tried that shit with them?
No. People have this selective, you know.
I'm just selective.
Yeah. Loss of control is very selective.
Because when Ron Artest, when Ben Wallace shoved him, Ron Artest said, "We go find a white man in the stand."
That's right.
He ain't want no smoke with Ben Wallace.
I'm just saying.
That's right. Okay, but no, I hope it's a learning experience. I'm glad he is still employed. That's a big job. It's his alma mater. He brought the Fab Five back together because I think Jalen Rose and Chris Webber hadn't spoken in years, and that brought them back together. So hopefully they can hold together. I'll just say this. Once your team sees you lose it, there's a certain level of respect. I think it's really hard to get back. Now, the team stood for each other, but what happened was you had coaches being defended by their players. Now the players are into it, and that just was a bad look. And it's very hard for you to go in a pressure situation in a huddle and be like, listen, I want y'all to hold it together. I know you're not talking. You just slapped somebody, you know, so you got to be careful. So those are the things that you got to be careful of.
Yeah. It's going to be hard for him to reel his players back in.
Ben Wallace looked like he got his with his teeth.
Ben Wallace was playing no joke.
That was a wild boy.
I miss when they had enforcers. We just talking about that earlier, man. I miss a good enforcer, man.
They don't do that no more.
This ticky-tack bullshit.
Now the enforcer's at the 3-point line right now.
Facts.
Ain't nobody in the paint.
Nobody in the paint, man. Nobody in the paint. But tonight, y'all, man, we got a special guest tonight, man. It's our dear friend. He's been on the show before. This comedian dude, he was the host of the Showtime with Apollo. He was on the radio, the #2 radio station in Dallas, Texas. This is my dear friend for over 20-some years. I guess I just told our age. Shit, is it 20? Yeah, we're going to 20 or almost 30 goddamn some years now. This is my boy from back in the day. My man, Rudy Rush.
Yo, what's good, fellas? What's going on?
What up, Rudy?
Rudy, you in the bathroom?
Where are you in the shower?
No, I'm in the studio. You know when you got when you got some juice, you got your own little setup. You know what I mean? So
what's up, Rudy? How you doing?
I'm good, fellas. I'm still trying to get over the fact that D was blowing his nose during the show. I said, yo,
I can't shake this goddamn cold, man.
I ain't been on the show in a minute. I said, y'all really testing the boundaries.
Live TV for real, man.
He did a granddaddy sneeze. He was all in it too. Hey, let me get another box of them tissues.
What up?
But I'm sorry, hold on, let me go for 2 seconds. Then I love the crew because y'all was looking at him like, yo, D, for real?
Yeah.
Like, ain't nobody mentioning it or nothing.
Man, yo, my nose, man. This is my nose keeps running, man. Yo, Rudy, your teeth look, Rudy, why your teeth look African teeth white?
I don't know. Oh, we gonna do that tonight.
You got them fucking African sticks brushing that shit fucking extra white.
I heard what you said about them Jamaican women, bro. You can't travel back there at all.
Yeah, he done.
You can't go to Jamaica, Queens no more.
Yo, the ugliest strippers ever seen in my life, man.
Wow.
By far,
He's still saying it. Still saying it.
They are the ugliest.
Yeah.
No. I'm sorry. Antigua might be up there.
Oh, he's gonna add on to it.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
We're gonna expand the continents. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But Rudy, you haven't seen the stuff that this guy says and do on the show, man.
I speak to him almost once a week, so I already know he's off the rails with it. Now, who's living with their baby mama? Who's living with their ex-wife? I heard that part. That's what I came in on.
That was none of us. No, I could never do it.
I can't live with none of my exes. If I did, everything would taste funny to them. They'd be like, "That's how it's cooked. That's how it's cooked." Swallow it all. Poison your ass.
Man, Rudy, man. So listen, Rudy, man, it's Black History Month, man. We want to get your perspective on Black comedians and the history of comedians and Black and Black History Month, all the Black comedians, and how much we play to the game, because I don't think nobody's funnier than Black folks in the world, man.
I agree. I mean, being a Black comedian, I'm going to say that we just bring a different flair, almost like the food. Like white people make good food, but Black people just go in when it comes to food. And I think the same thing applies to comedy because we require so much from each other. Like on a Black show, you got to be funny. I make sure my first joke is funny so I can establish somewhat of a beachfront, meaning like it's a security blanket to establish. You got to establish with Black folks you funny. White people, you could talk and then 15 minutes in, like, oh, this guy's hilarious. This guy's really got something. Like they give you a minute to build. Black audiences, they don't do that, so that doesn't mean that Black comics are funny. It's just the criteria is different, which means sometimes when you put us on shows together, it doesn't match up. And Black guys, they use so much energy that we tend to seem like we're funnier. And I will say that I think a lot of our jokes, because we can relate to them, are funnier to us.
So it's different. So when you work a white crowd, is a different kind of, you teeter your show a little bit or what?
So I'm about to put it out there. I'm one of the best. So I'm one of the few comics, Black and white. I do both. So my jokes come from a Black perspective. I don't, I have white friends, but I never lived in a white world other than corporate America. And so my jokes are just so relatable with relationships and with the Black stuff. Like I talk about roaches, but white people get it. But some comics say things like lace fronts, and there's certain terminology that like white people just don't get. And I'm different than that. So I do really well with both crowds. I mean, I kill it with both.
Good. Because as soon as you say roaches, Black people are going to relate.
Yeah. But you know what? White people do too, because they be like, yeah, I put them in there too. I used to own the building. That's what that
right? Oh man, Rude. So it's Black History Month. Like, who's your top, like, to you, comedians of all time? If you get like that, or you would love to see which was still around.
My favorite
of all. Tour with, who would you love to go on tour with too?
Oh my gosh! So there's two guys, Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence, and it may be because I came up during that era. But even to this day, when you look back at when people talk about the GOAT, like the movies now, movies cost like $25 to get in there. So when they say the box office is 18 million, well, guess what? Back in the days, it was $5 to get in there if you did side by side. So I think if Eddie Murphy had went on a world tour like Kevin, he would have done a million times more, just because he was just that good in everything, acting, stand up, television, everything he did. Even he put out a song on some Jamie Foxx stuff, even though he clowned at Party All the Time, was like a hit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It was popular. It was just what he embodied, and he had everybody going to school the next day reciting his all his monologues and his jokes. Goonie Google. Like, some people, you can't remember any of their jokes. They're funny, but some comics today,
Phase on.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't remember many jokes, like, you know, and that's one thing I love about, and I'm sorry to keep going back on myself, but when people leave my show, they'll repeat something I said, like, yo, man, that blanket joint was crazy, or the Thundercat chick with the, like, I love that stuff because that's the stuff people take and carry. So Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence, because of the Martin show and the fact that when he hosted Def Jam, he was really the host that Black America needed. Comics needed him because he was just so fluid and so funny. It was just a great experience. People actually, to this day, I don't know if anybody stayed. Remember, we all stayed at home until after 12 o'clock, and then we went out after Def Jam. Def Jam was coming on at 12 o'clock, and we stayed in the house, and then we went to Bentley's. Then we went to the club. Right. Martin had us sitting there waiting and watching. So I've never seen anything like those two gentlemen before, and I've got some colleagues that are funny as hell. I'll go pay to see him, and you know, if we know somebody in town, we'll go see him. But to that extent, I don't think anybody, and I love Richard Pryor, but I had to go back and look. Rich was dope for the fact that he told the truth, and he was really funny. He got some of the funniest jokes. But for me, Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence.
So do you feel that the comedians get the same respect as white comedians in the history?
No.
History of comedy?
Hell no. But we do get a lot more opportunities. Like, I feel like we've carved a niche. It's almost like that soul food. They gave us the scraps, and we took it and we made these cuisines that are you know, delicacies around the world, meaning that there's not too many places where white comedians can make a living like black comedians have because of Def Jam, because of how we support each other to a small degree. Now, when it gets to a larger level of stuff, there are some comics that, you know, that in my opinion are doing really well on the white side. They, you know, it's just like music. You see somebody got a one-hit wonder. How you living in that mansion in Beverly Hills and you got one hit? And my man put out 5 albums. Nigga Keith Sweat put out 8 albums. Nigga still in Harlem.
You know, Rudy, let me say this, and I know this is gonna sound like a strange comparison. My father was an electrician. I'd watch him work all day, and then afterwards they put the walls back together, and nobody would see my father's work. They just flick the light on, and that'd be it. I think about you guys. I think people don't know what it takes to do 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20. Like, I think people have no idea. Especially the better you are, the easier you make it look. Does it seem like comedians really, people just don't think? That's why people try their hand at it, because they don't really know the work it takes to do this.
Yeah, you know, I learned not necessarily the hard way, but one thing I will say, Kay, is that I learned from being on stage and thinking about the things me and my best friend in high school, yo, we had some of the funniest experiences. We had this little thing we called pumpernickel bread we used to talk about. And it's as stupid as it sounds, it would sound even more stupid if I said it on stage. But we was crying tears. And so I just learned that you could be funny off stage with your friends and be cool, but comedy is a different animal. It's a different mathematics. You can't really, you know, quantify like funny off stage and on stage. And that's why sometimes even with T.I. or some guys in the NBA, they are the funny guys in the locker room or on the tour bus or on the planes. And then they feel like, yo, you should do that. You should take that to the stage. And that's where they get that confidence because they've always had a captive audience.
Right.
They had a bunch of yes men around them, just making them think they're funny.
Or not necessarily that. Like, you guys, who's the funny dude in this crew?
I think
you said who's the good-looking guy here? I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, never mind. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
like
sorry.
like somebody would like somebody.
I'm sorry.
Somebody.
I think that's answered. He just answered that right there.
No, but sometimes somebody will watch this show. Somebody at some college or some corporate place, and they'll watch you guys, and they'll be like, "Yo, that dude D, they'll call you D and be like, "Yo, would you like to come and do 15 minutes?" And then they show you the check, and you be like, "Yo, I'm a comedian now," because that's how a lot of it happens.
Let me ask you, have you ever seen someone have to get humbled? And I think I watched you on another show. I think the show with Godfrey and the other comic. And I think one of you were making a point that somebody will have their family or somebody to support you for a few shows. Then when the training wheels are taken off and that support is not there, that audience doesn't care who you are. They're ready to go in. You know, have you ever seen somebody have to get humbled because they thought they mastered this in about a month or so, and then reality set in?
Listen, I've been humbled before early in my career, thank goodness, but I've seen some of the heavy ones like Patrice O'Neal, Red Grant, a few others, because I was the host of the Apollo, and I also did warm-ups 3 years prior to becoming the host. I saw a bunch of comics come in and get served by that Apollo crowd. And it's a really humbling experience because a lot of most of all those comics weren't there for the amateur night. They were there as special guests. They supposed to be funny, and they were established at the time. So yeah, I've seen, comics like Tiffany Haddish, JB Smoove, some of the best of them really take one because they maybe misjudged the room. Charlie Murphy, rest in peace. He took a bad one at a school where I got a standing note a year before because he was just coming in to his stand-up prowess. So it happens, and it happens really quick for people who think like this is an easy cakewalk. I love watching those.
You remember when we went to that outdoor comedy thing and that guy was so bad he walked off the stage?
Oh, we was at Lindenwood, Rudy.
Lindenwood Diner. They're doing it outside.
Alan and Ray Deshawn room during the COVID. We was in the car doing that shit.
Yeah. Rudy, I'm gonna break it down for you. See, the thing is, we were all in our cars in a parking lot, and the stage was in front of the diner, right? So you're not hearing the laughter of people in the car, right? So basically, you're telling a joke, and you're still hearing silence. So that probably threw this dude off, and all of a sudden, my man dropped the mic and just walked off. And everything just went dead. And Ray Deshawn had to come running out to try to save the show, right?
Yeah. That was hilarious, man.
Weren't y'all supposed to honk the horns if it's funny?
Yeah.
Yo, dude, we was at Lindenwood Diner. Most people's horns didn't work. You know what I'm saying?
Look, see, you about to get booked next week. Somebody go.
Rudy, let me ask you a question.
Lindenwood Diner, though.
When I've been working in ministry for 30 years, so I've had to stand in front of crowds and people, but it's church, it's congregations, it's different. Yeah. And when I see someone young that's starting in ministry, especially when it comes to preaching, when they get nervous, the first thing they do is they speed up. They speed up, they're trying to get through it. And so when someone is in a situation in comedy, if you're talking to a young comic and they're nose diving, what should they do? Do they walk off the stage? Do they try to? Because I guess some audiences won't let you back up. So what do you do, or does it vary?
Well, I like to pull young cats to the side because it happened for me. I remember one time, and I can count on my hands the bad shows that I've had, but I had a real bad show one night in Brooklyn years ago. And I was super young. I was 20, 21, and another comedian, Drew Frazier, was there, and he was more seasoned than I was. I think he was maybe like 10 years older than me, been in the game for a while. And I was ready to go. I was ready to get out of there. And he was like, yo, don't ever do that. Get off stage like a pro. Get off stage and just congregate with the people because they don't know that you messed up that bad. They're not even going to remember that you had that bad of a night. And sometimes people do remember it, even when you get better. They're like, yo, that's the dude we booed. but for the most part, he just helped me carry myself like a professional. And I never thought I would fail again. And I really kind of didn't since then because I always felt like I had the confidence level. Like I'm here for a reason. So I would tell a young dude, take it easy, take a deep breath. I would give them some pointers here and there, tell them to establish themselves like I do sometimes if they don't have a place to go. So I just try to help out in that way because a lot of comics helped me. They were I was very fortunate to have comics who actually looked out for me.
Yo, Rudy, let me ask you something. The theme of Black History Month. If Martin Luther King was around now and sort of jokes that a lot of comedians are doing right now, do you think he I realize my dream is true or turn to a nightmare? What would you think Martin would say right now?
He'd be like, Coretta, get your ass up. This is some bullshit. What the hell happened when I was sleeping? Telling jokes about baby mamas and taking off this PPP loan. Goodness gracious. I think even back then when he was doing speeches and traveling and doing things for civil rights, there was some smoke screeny kind of stuff then, which still exists now. I think we as people have come very far, even as you guys talked about in the Juwan Howard piece, with his indiscretion hitting the other coach. But like you said, we joke about it, but really, maybe 20 years ago, a black dude hitting a white dude on TV, he would have been out of there. But I think with the money involved with Jordan and he are really good friends, Jordan Brand is with the school. They kind of broke it down as to why he probably wasn't, in normal cases, because of his profile, wasn't fired. But yeah, I do feel like, Martin Luther King, there's some great strides that have been made, especially with comics being able to voice their opinion. Dave Chappelle is a shining example of fighting the system and pretty much winning. So I think he would be proud of that.
Okay.
I wanted to know, and I hope I asked this the right way. When I think of female comedians and female rappers, I feel like a lot of them are either pushed or feel a need to kind of be a little more raunchy. I used to see that, especially during like the Def Jam days or comedy. It just seemed like the female, I don't know if that was done intentionally to try to get noticed in a field that's dominated by men. But have you seen that, or am I perceiving that wrong? Because I used to see a lot of females, it was almost like the thing is to have the courage to go out here and just go hard for the audacity.
Yeah.
Versus just some of the clever stuff like that. And I hope that doesn't sound disrespectful to females.
I'm gonna try to break it down the best I can as we think about comedy. Comedy is a sophomoric, silly genre. It means like everything, even death, you could take light of. You know what I mean? Right. And women don't have that component in them necessarily. Normally, they're nurturers. They'll tell you to stop playing. I've never heard some dude like, come on, stop playing. Everything's not funny. Guys be like, yo, that was crazy. You know what I mean? So that's what people don't put that mathematics in it when they think about it, because that's why women are not received as funny, because really comedy is a male dominated situation. Like we always clowning. I mean, you could walk in and see a dirty bathroom and be like, yo, everything is funny. Your kid could fall down the stairs, even though you dying inside. You like, damn, that was funny. Like women don't see things funny. So when you flip it and they're the ones telling the jokes, it's almost like we don't believe it. Like, really? So they got to go hard like we do to really like grab people's attention. And one of the best people I've seen do it without being so raunchy, but they were in the beginning because they had to fit in and get in, is someone like Samore and Monique and them. But Samore is someone who can hang with the guys, man. She's one of those girls that you could pick up on your team the first and second, and she's gonna bust a dude behind on the court because she put in the work.
No, you and Samore did work at when I saw you at Caroline's. I haven't seen comedy in a long. Well, I told Rod, but to be inside a room, that was dope. Samore, if anybody can see Samore and my man Rudy and Tom, please go out. Samore,
we put a good show on. Yeah, it was good.
Rudy, what makes a good room?
Oh, you know what? What makes a good room is just, like when the best room for me is when people come in on time and they ready. Like they got their drinks, they're already halfway through their food. You know what I mean? It's like it's not a lot of orders being taken, so people got their drinks and everything, and it's just a buzz. It's like maybe a late show on a Friday, or the first show on Saturday. Those shows be super, super, and the last show on Saturday too, because people don't have to work the next day. But it makes for a great joke. Couples, diversity, like you really want to be able to touch a lot of people, just have a lot of energy. You don't want to be in no banquet hall or some place where they was like, oh yeah, we're gonna do comedy here tonight. Comedy club, packed, everybody ready. That's the best go time.
Right.
Intimate. Yeah.
Rudy, I'm gonna piggyback off Kelvin's question. You ever did a show, walked on, thought the crowd felt right, and everything went wrong?
Yeah. So it happens not often, but like I would say just as recent as, where was I? I was in Philly, and for whatever reason I couldn't see past the second row. It was totally dark, and I didn't go look at the room, which I normally do before the show, but we got in late, so I had to go right on stage, and it felt like nobody was laughing. So I had to like kick it up a notch, and then I started hearing a couple of chuckles from the back, so I was like, I really wasn't laughing back then, So I just had to adjust, because the energy I came out with, maybe I should have came out with a different type of energy. I just felt funny, almost like that dude at Linden Diner. He couldn't hear the laughter. I couldn't feel the people. And normally I could, because I walk out there, I walk through the crowd real quick. So yeah, that was a time that just happened recently. So yeah, you just got to adjust. You got to take a deep breath and don't panic, because you could really panic quick and then it'll go downhill from there.
Hey, Jamie, can you go to some of the comments, man? Just want to make sure we get some of the people in the chat. They said, B. Brad, what up, bro?
BT is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Rather get your ass up.
What's him say right there?
Yeah, I believe the comedian's name is was Poetic Justice. Yeah, he kicked on one night at the Boston, and he killed one night at Boston and never heard from him again.
Yeah, so yeah, that dude, he's still around, but I don't think he's doing comedy. And that's another thing people need to understand. Comedy is a game of patience. You know, people think that Kevin Hart just made it. People think that Dave Chappelle just got rich. You know what I'm saying? Or they've been rich. Them dudes been struggling, going hard for 15, 20 years before they reach the pinnacle of where they are right now. So if you don't have the patience for that, just imagine if you 4 to 5 to 10 tiers down and you got something special, but you ain't got the patience because you got a construction job or you doing something else that's really paying your bills. And poetic to his point, that gentleman who just hit us up, he was grown when he started. So he was a grown man with us. He was like 30 something, 40. And we was like, where you going? I got kids. I got to be,
Yo, Rudy, let me ask you something. Like, y'all speaking on female comedians. Do you think that they get a harder time to get on, like to the companies like the Netflix, the Amazons, than the white female comedians?
No, I don't think so. I think they gave Tiffany a nice little bag. I think that whole Monique situation, there is a lot of, discrepancies about people and what they get paid and stuff. I don't think Amy Schumer's funnier than Monique at all.
Not at all.
I just felt like Monique at that particular time, her circumstances didn't warrant them to pursue her, because at the time, if you think about it, Lee Daniels was impressed by your man yet. Dame Dash, when Dame Dash pressed him, that gave Monique a lot of flack off of her, because they was like, yeah, they are kind of shady and shisty, and they do kind of do backhanded stuff. So that kind of freed her up. But before that, she had the situation with Netflix. Netflix was like, yo, you haven't been on tour since she got blackballed from Pressure. She kind of fell, and it was like 4 or 5 years later, like, you're not doing nothing. It's not so much that you ain't worth it. It's like, what are you doing?
So what have you done for me lately type situation? She's not
Yeah.
been popping here. She has been popping for a little while.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on this T.I. thing? He just did something in Atlanta, and and there was a little thing with him and Godfrey, so to speak. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I got some thoughts on that. Look,
go ahead, Rudy, get him.
It's great. So I was on the live with Ali Sadiq, who's another comedian, and Godfrey. So Godfrey, who was there, we were talking from that perspective, and then and I'm gonna put this out. I don't know where this is gonna go viral, whatever, but I had a conversation with Ali today. And so basically, we had a small little issue with Godfrey's point of view and what T.I. said happened, because at first we thought it was just blatant disrespect. He just came on and was like, yo, F that, I'm going on and blah, 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 which is pretty much what he did a little bit. But, Godfrey made it seem like he came through there and then he didn't say nothing to him and they didn't speak. And that's why, whatchamacallit thought it was disrespectful. And so what it found out was that he waited for T.I. to get off. They took pictures, they dapped it up. So he was like, the whole conversation afterwards, why you ain't have it with me there?
Right.
That's where T.I. was coming from. So T.I. was still wrong for going on, in my opinion, because when I'm done, it's supposed to be over. But don't wait afterwards and not address it. Be like, yo, man, next time chill out. Or when they say, because I heard they asked Godfrey, and Godfrey was like, go ahead. Sometimes you got to speak up and be like, nah, let's chill on that. Because trust me, them rap motherfuckers, they'll tell you,
that's a comedian. Yeah, that's a comedian. The same.
They'll tell you corny to your face.
Right. Exactly.
I did see the video with you guys. I kind of agreed with Godfrey about certain things, where if Godfrey tried to be a rapper or a thug, then the first thing they would do would be condemning Godfrey for doing it. You know what I'm saying? Right. But you just going to walk on the stage and basically be a comedian in one night. You know what I'm saying? And he's not coming forward.
I love it. Because
I will say this. Let me just finish this thought. I will say this. Godfrey should have stayed there and watched him and gathered new material from him.
Now he could have done that, but and that was the other thing that I didn't like, was the obligation that people were putting on him, that he had to watch T.I. Watch him do what?
Yeah, watch him do what. But like I said, just get some new material off his ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. People always say that. That's one thing comics hate, is being in situations where people think that they're going to get new material from it. It's just a waste of his 15-20 minutes to watch this dude say 18 big words and be done. I pacificate and quantify that this expeditiously. I'm like, man.
Well, see, you know what, Rudy, I'm gonna tell you something. First of all, I think T.I. a lot of times will misspeak about things. Like, for instance, this idea like, I'm not a comedian, I'm a superstar. There are comedians that are superstars, first of all. That's the other thing. The other thing is that this is something I resent, and I hate this there's one comedian that's on the circuit, he does it a lot. I don't tell jokes, I just talk about my life. I don't want to hear about your life. I want to hear it in the context of jokes. That's what it is. In other words, I get to talk about my life, and some stuff in my life is funny, but that's not what it comes. You know what I'm saying? What I give you guys credit for is this. When I used to go like to the Laugh Lounge in Manhattan and stuff like that, I would see these guys outside before a show. And they sitting there looking like, you know, they tired or they at work or whatever. When that red light comes on, something happens and just the comic comes out of you. To me, that's the comedian. I don't care what's going on in your personal life. I don't care if you have a bad day. When you get on that stage, you entertain those people on cue. And that's what the rest of us can't do. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And I agree. So like, you know, like I would have watched because I want to see the train wreck. like after I finish, I want to see what the hell you gonna do. I'll see what you gonna pull out your bag. You gonna have to do a song, nigga. After I finish.
Right. Yo, I will add to you, Kelvin. The thing is, like, when the light turns on, a lot of comedians have to go. But I will pay Rudy a compliment. I've been on the phone and FaceTime with Rudy, with me and D and him. And he's still funny. He's always funny. Just every conversation. No, he's always being a comedian. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, like, he's constantly in his craft all the time. Right. And that's why I say, yo, Rudy is tight with his shit. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the word.
He's always in craft, you know?
People don't recognize it as a craft. To me, the way I see it is, and I have a lot of respect for comedians. The way I see it is that stage is sacred. So they don't like, and I can't speak for you, Rudy, but I think comedians don't like that you come up here like this as a hobby, either be in it or not. And I think you made a point, like, if you're not going to be serious about it, then go to an open mic. Then go to something where people are amateurs. But if you're going to get on a bill with professional, seasoned comedians, you really didn't earn that right. No. You know what I mean? You're the Jake Paul of comedy. Like, you're just creating a platform for yourself to get in it. And I don't think that's right. To me, to get there, there's a lot of people that have paid a lot of money to come and see these professional comics, and you get on stage because you're a superstar in your estimation, by the way. I mean the reality, because for me, Michael Jackson is a superstar. Beyonce is a superstar. You know what I mean? Like,
you all right, bro.
We use some of this a little loosely. You know what I'm saying?
We let you get away with that King of the South. We let you get away with the King of the South. Right. Stop pushing it.
Look at Brad Rowe right there, man.
He said Rudy's underrated.
But let me tell you,
look at Brad Rowe for you, right? Look at Brad Rowe for you, Rudy.
Check him out. Rudy's underrated. That water pressure joke was hilarious.
My man, I'm telling you, that's real. And that's what people, I'm telling you, that's what people love. That when I say certain things, like, I got a joke about my homeboy putting a blanket on me, and I'm like,
that shit is hilarious.
And women be like, hilarious. What? That's nice. And dudes be like, yo, where the fuck that blanket come from, bro? Like, it's just you and your man in the house. And it's funny, Rod, you said it, because I hang out with comics now, like Bill Bellamy. One of the, he's a famous, iconic dude, and so is Bill Burr, and there's a black dude and a white dude. And one thing I like about when I hang out with them, we're always sharing and always creating. Even when we go to lunch, when we go to dinner, write that down, or we watch each other's sets, and it's always a build. You know what I mean? We get some of the funniest jokes just by chilling out. And I used to think, like, damn, we getting up and going to breakfast, or we going to it. But it's always a time for comics who have great minds to get together and do that kind of stuff. And them dudes don't know that. They don't know what it takes to really be a really good comic. Samoa is another one.
Yeah, Rudy, I want to ask you something. You saw what's my man name? That joined the two brothers, the muscle dudes. I want to talk about, like, the guy that got the Amazon special right now. What's my boy name? The two brothers, the one that's Diesel, the one that's and the other one, Guy Torre.
Oh.
So I was like, who the hell is
Joe Torre and Guy Torre.
Yeah, so Guy Torre, like, they had the West Coast scene. I want people to understand how Boston Comedy Club was in the 90s, man. Do you think we could even come up with? Well, I don't think it's going to be as big as that, but
no, it would be bigger. Let me tell you why it would be. Absolutely. Let me just say this:
the reason, a little perspective of the 90s.
Yeah, the reason why it would be bigger, I wouldn't focus on just the Sunday night, but I would focus on what took place Sunday night and what took place around the corner at the Comedy Cellar. All of the people from Chappelle, from Bill Burr, from Talent, from Will, Kevin Hart, myself. I mean, there's a plethora. It was a mixing pot of black and white comics going back and forth in that village area. Plus, you had music artists like Jill Scott, because you had the Blue Note down the street. So you had some people cut. It was unbelievable. Wanda Sykes, everybody, you name them in comedy, they were in that era during that time, and it was unbelievable just to walk in that 4-block radius near West 4th Street, and it was unbelievable. I mean, everybody was out there. It was crazy. It was a great time. Yeah, it was even bigger. It was a bigger time for comedy in that time. More names were made on that particular area in that time than no disrespect though to the Fat Comedy joint, because I was a part of that era too, but I wasn't on the special.
Rudy, let me ask you a question. Back in the day, I look at the platforms like Comic View and Def Comedy Jam. We talk about the people from Def Comedy Jam that really, really blew up, from Bernie Mac to Chris Tucker. There's a lot of guys on there and ladies on there who I don't know that they're still doing comedy. It seems like it's almost like when people started making the jump from high school to the NBA, people think about Kobe and Garnett, but there's a lot of people that it just didn't do it for. So some people look like they got on TV, but it looks like a lot of them are not around anymore. Is that fair to say that people got caught up in kind of the publicity at the moment, but didn't stay with it because they just couldn't maintain it?
So what I would say, Kay, is the fact that a lot of them you just don't see. Now, they're just like anything else, basketball and sports and even corporate America. When you a CEO, like sometimes they need to do a study and see how long you get to keep that job, because it's like, the life of a comic could be 25, 30 years if you push it, but it could also be 10 years. And then you realize I'm not so good at that. But then you have a lot of those comics who you saw early on. They're writers, they're showrunners. They develop all of these different programming and stuff like that, or they went to voiceovers and commercials. So they're doing all different types of things. And some, like you said, they bow out and they just kind of either manage or run a club. There's so many different things that comics do. So yeah, so some of that you don't see, they're still in the game, but not at the level that seeing them on their face on TV all the time.
Yo, Rudy. Actually, it looks like you sitting on the toilet for real though, bro. And somebody keeps walking by.
Hey, that's the lady who runs the studio thing here. So.
Tell her we said hi.
Look! I should have had the camera like this.
Put it back. Yo, Rudy, man. You look like you got no tissue.
It's hot in this damn box.
Go ahead, D. I'm sorry.
No. So, Rudy, you got a podcast, right? Can you tell people about your podcast?
Yeah. So, during the COVID, everybody started scrambling and doing different things. And this actually came once things opened up. A gentleman approached me. We worked at ABC Radio together when I was working on Doug Banks' show. And he actually started a media company. And he had a few podcasts under his belt and was like, yo, I always wanted to work with you. So, how did you feel about doing a podcast? I was like, yeah, I wouldn't mind it, but it has to be something that is a little different than the norm. Everybody's, I don't want to be up there joking with comedians all the time. I love to have a comedian on and talk about some past history and this and that. But mostly, let's talk about, the journey. And so we came up with the name You Can't Rush Success with my name in it, which was great, And
that name is dope, Rudy. That name is dope.
Yeah, so it just kind of goes with people just like yourselves. It's just like, I started off as a comedian, got into radio, did some other literary stuff. So we have people on there who are not just entertainers. You have some corporate people, some chefs, just kind of people finding the pivot. My man, Sean C., who's a huge huge production guy. He's a producer. He actually started out, he was working in the mailroom when he had that beat that he gave Jay-Z, You Can't Knock the Hustle, on that first album. And they grabbed him and was like, yo, keep your ass out the mailroom. And now he's one of the biggest producers that you maybe never heard of. We lived on the same floor, but he went through his trials and tribulations being a single father. So I just wanted people to hear that, because sometimes you don't know, at 40, you still got a ways to probably go. It ain't over for you. You could be famous or you could be successful at 50. You could be successful at 25, but you just got to understand and pay attention to things. So if you hear other people's story, it may give you some understanding of where you're going and where you could be headed. So that's the crux of what we do on You Can't Rush Success, and it's been very successful. We had some really cool people.
I want Jamie to play a little clip from the podcast. Jamie, can you play a little clip from the podcast, please?
Just explain to everyone exactly what it is that you do.
Actually, for the most part, most people know me more as a producer than they do as a DJ. But I started out as a DJ in Harlem. Now I evolved into production, which is kind of what, in my era, that's kind of what the natural progression was. You would be a DJ, and then you go from being a DJ because you're the one in control of the sound to making your own music. So I produced records for Jay-Z, for Puff, for Pusha T, for worked with A$AP Ferg, with Joey Badass, worked with Big Pun, Raekwon, like a lot of people. The list is long. Jada.
Yeah. I don't know any of those cats you just named. They sound like they sound like they could be important.
Your motherfuckers are the same toothpaste. That motherfucker teeth white too.
We used to live on the same floor, and he was like my first big bro. He was a real good dude, and he's one of those classic examples like you guys. Like, you think the bad guys win all the time, but they really don't. He was a good dude, and I'm really happy. And we're gonna connect on some level too to do some stuff together. And that's another thing that you got to recognize. Like everybody, even on this panel, 5 years from now, and this is the thing I love too, 15 years, 5 years, relationships change. You guys may be heads of the directors of some radio broadcasting or something, and you'd be like, yo, let me put Rudy on, because it's always a situation where you can never burn your bridges, always stay on top, always stay positive. And that dude's been killing the game ever since, and I took my lead from him, because he's always been a good dude, and that was the first example I had, because I didn't have no older brothers, and my dad wasn't around like that. You know what I mean?
Yo, Rudy,
let me ask you this one last. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Kelvin. I want to go.
I'm gonna ask one last question to you, Rudy. I think two moments culturally in entertainment, black entertainment, that changed generations. I think one of them was when young people saw Michael on Motown 25. It birthed a generation of young people that want to be dancer singers. And I think when they saw Eddie come out at Constitution Hall in that red leather, a bunch of young people said, I want to do that for a living. What was the moment that you said, this is what I want to do as far as being a comedian?
Yo, it's funny you mentioned the Motown 25, right? So my mother used to have us, and y'all remember this. I don't know when this stopped, but kids, we had to go to bed at 7:30, 8 o'clock on the dot. Like, your mother was like, get out my face. You go to bed, you got to get up for school the next day. So it was right around the time the Motown 25 was going on. And of course, they kept building up. Coming up next, Michael Jackson performs. And we was like, yo, you got to let us stay up. And so my mother was like, she was on that, no, go to bed. So we was in the bedroom. We had the TV with the big back, I told my sister, I was like, fuck that shit, I'm watching Michael Jackson. I plugged it next to my bed. I was under the covers. So my mother, you know how black mothers do. They want to be mean, but then they want to be like a Sour Patch Kid and be nice afterwards, right? So she came in to let us in, and all she could see was this light flickering under the blanket. So unfortunately, I never got a chance to see Mike, except for like later on when they showed the highlights or whatever. But my first time, I just thought I thought I was gonna be a basketball player. I was into Dr. J and stuff like that. And when I saw Eddie Murphy, and now that I'm a comedian, I know what I was seeing, because I was so captivated that I was watching it like I was watching a science project. I just couldn't believe this dude was up there talking like that. It never inspired me to be a comic, but it made me inside somewhere. Later on, it festered into all of the beliefs I have, and the reason why I know I'm supposed to be here was the reason why I was looking at it that way. So yeah, absolutely. Like, that was huge.
Absolutely.
Rudy, real quick, man, we got some good some comments here, man, and I want to see you got some hecklers in there. How do you handle your hecklers and some good jokes in here, little people making fun of your background? Jamie, can you bring those up, man, real quick? Some of the stuff people saying about his little background.
Yeah.
Oh man, that room looks like a flashback. And we got jokes out here. And my son, it looks like he's sitting in a bootleg Rubik's Cube.
Rudy, that's Derek's wife and son, bro.
you telling on me, man?
Yo, book Norette.
You supposed to just be monitoring your husband's business and his whereabouts. You just watching this show to make sure his ass is where he say he is.
Oh
No. Listen, handling hecklers, man, is something that I luckily never really have to deal with unless there's somebody who's been drinking too much and they're having too much fun. I rarely get that person that's on there, yo, you corny, blah, blah, blah. You know, except for back in the day, we used to have, I don't know if y'all familiar with Queens like that, but they had this spot called the Owl. Y'all remember the Owl?
Oh my, Rudy, the Owl, my God, bro.
That was one place I took an L.
All about that spot.
Yeah, I took an L, and the dude played me out because it was thugged out, and you're supposed to go in there and get your money and get out. So I'm on stage, and this dude being real disrespectful, and I ain't built like. So I was like, yo, my man, chill, blah, blah, blah. He was like, he had a bottle of champagne, and he went like this, and I swear on everything, I was like, yo, everybody in there laughed like I said the funniest joke ever. Yo, he won that battle because I had to laugh myself. I was like, yo, you got that shit. I was outside like I thought he's gonna pop me in the eye with that cork. This is before I had glasses too, so I was really into my vision. Like, so yeah, that was one heckler. I was like, all right, you got that money. But other than that, yeah, I try to deal with them lightly before I have to have them excused. Because if you're drunk and you're just not trying to be quiet, I kind of got to get you out of here because I want to talk to these people who came to pay to see me.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, I swear, Rudy, this is the last time I'm doing this shit in here with y'all. Hey, we got to do Zoom. If we did Zoom, I would have a background.
Rudy, I'm telling you, on this show, there's a lot of sex symbol shaming. That's what I get all the time. I'm telling you that right now.
That's messed up, yo. That's messed up.
Yo, Brad said, Sammy, can you bring up Brad's last comment? That's so true.
And the funny part, I'm trying to be professional. Like, they gonna love this shit right
here. Brad said, Boston Comedy Club on Sunday nights in the 90s, hosted by some of the funniest people I've ever seen. And I was downstairs taping at the Bag It In, if y'all don't remember that fly.
That's right. Wow. That's right.
That's where all the magic happened. That's where I had like 10 girlfriends.
Rudy,
all on different floors in the hotel.
Yeah.
Hey, Rudy, Nikisha says Schaumburg with exclamation mark. Jamie, you can bring that comment. What does that mean?
Yeah. That's where we all lived at, Schaumburg. Yeah, Schaumburg.
Okay.
So, and so funny, Sean C., who was on the podcast that you just saw, we also came up, I was best friends with the Central Park Five. And the funniest thing is, another thing in life that you learn, like you think your tragedy is something until you see where the path God took you, because we got evicted that very summer before that happened. And I'm telling you, Kevin and Yusuf and we would never, Yusuf especially being Muslim, he would never be hardly out in the park like that. That would have been me because we was running in the park and we would go and we would scare joggers. We wouldn't touch nobody, or most of you get in a fight with somebody from another project because the project be full of everybody, be a summer night. So anyway, all that being said, is like, yo, that's where we come from. And I'm part of the culture that really moved Black America, because that was strong, man. It just let me know that, I got to walk a different way, where most people didn't know. They think the police is really good, or they got those boys to confess to those crimes and they didn't do it. Like, how difficult is that for them, for anybody to have you say, yes, I did it, so I can get out of here? That's amazing. So yeah. So we come from that era, and I felt lucky. I felt bad because we got evicted. I thought we was a joke and all this other stuff, and embarrassed. But I dodged a huger bullet than I thought.
Word up.
Because I ain't trying to listen. I ain't trying to look. I thought about going to jail. My best scenario would be an OG in there, like, yo, let me tell you something, young blood. I got your back. You my celly now. So when you go out there on the yard, tell them OG got your back, because out there they're gonna rape you, and here it's gonna be consensual. What's up?
Rudy, let me ask you a question. You seem to be an anomaly because you seem to be a happy comedian. At least I always believe that most comedians just come from this really dark place. They can make their else laugh, but it seems like comedians, people say, are really depressed. They're really despondent. You just seem to be a person that just seems to love laughter and love life, and it doesn't,
No, I do, but I got my share of challenges and things of that nature because you can only control what you can. And if you understand, and I'm gonna just tell y'all this, I found like I wasn't diagnosed with depression, but when I was young and doing comedy, I used to have an apartment on Fifth Avenue in Harlem, and it was a nice one little studio joint. But I just found myself just sitting there one time and not washing or bathing. Like I would just go do my shows and come back. And I was like, I was depressed. So early on, mental health was important to me. Like I kind of figured it out. So even now as an adult and having children and my youngest daughter, her mother passed. And we've been going through this difficult time where my daughter, who I've been in her life all 14 of her years, she's 15 now, to all of a sudden there's no communication. She doesn't want to come. Like, so I go through my trials and tribulations. My youngest daughter's mother think I'm the devil and all this other stuff when I'm just like trying to be a nice guy. So most of what you see now is, I'm being professional. I don't get off of here and go cry somewhere, but at the same time, I do acknowledge that, sometimes it gets sad because like I talk to my daughter every day and I haven't spoken to her in the last year. That's the one person I love the most. I love both of my girls, but she's the first love. So it's just tough. So I try to say, listen, time goes by a little faster. So I'm trying to breathe through it. And maybe when it's time to come back into the fold. So that's basically what it is. We all got some stuff we deal with, but for me, it's better for me to work out. It's better for me to smile and have fun because this does something for me. And I appreciate you guys for having me on. So that's what.
Thank you, man. We appreciate you.
Coming, man. We appreciate you, man.
Hey, Rudy, ain't no check involved in this. You ain't gonna say a nice shit.
Oh, there's not. My bad. There.
Otherwise, we gotta check. You wouldn't be in this bathroom.
Give me a bigger space.
Or the walls are closing in on you.
Hey man, I was trying to not have a ceiling fan and some chips in the background. I was like,
all right, Rudy, let me ask my fourth last question. So let me say this. So there was news recently that it looks like Chappelle is taking more of an executive role at Netflix. He's getting specials for, I think, Earthquake, and I think maybe one for Darnell.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised by the Darnell one. I know that's his guy though, but what do you think about that? I would assume it's going to open some more doors for more comics now that maybe some people didn't think should be showcased that will be now.
Yeah, I love the idea of it because one thing is with Dave, of course, he's a brand and he also has a lot of influence. And I think those guys like Earthquake and Darnell, especially Darnell, who, have gotten bits and pieces and good roles here and there or a little something, gets a chance to really sink their teeth into a project that's probably going to be done really right since Dave is executive producer on it. I learned how to do a special by working with Dave and watching him and learning how the masters actually did it because there's a formula to it that people don't really understand, but I think it's a perfect way to actually produce a special. So with him at the helm, you're probably gonna see the best you've ever seen Earthquake. You're probably gonna see the best you've ever seen your man Darnell. And they got a thing that they do out there in Yellow Springs. And I ain't gonna tell you I was invited. So I'm just saying, maybe I'm on the list. But no, we go way back. So you never know. So I'm happy that we all are working.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, what's up.
Oh, look, I was gonna bring that Brad. Look at Brad.
Because I thought Rudy was shooting a Jamiroquai video.
Let me turn the lights off in this bitch. We turn the lights off in here, man. Yeah, what's up, man?
Yo, Rudy, your teeth are fucking white, my nigga.
Oh man,
God,
yeah, you gotta get with those Jamaican strippers. They got good teeth.
Cause they brush their teeth with that African stick.
Yeah. Colgate.
That's it.
We got jokes. Looking like a real life.
Yo, listen, the ladies is killing me more than the dudes. What's up, ladies?
Yo, that shit looks like the padded room to me, like for insane sound.
Hey, listen, some of the ladies need the padded room. You come go ahead. Watch your head, boo boo.
Oh man, Rudy, man, we love you, man. No, Rudy, I know you got some dates coming up, man. Jamie, can you show the flyer? And Rudy tells the shows you got going on. And
yeah,
like
Columbia, South Carolina, April 1st.
My second home.
Yeah, we're gonna be out there April Fool's weekend, and then this weekend I'm actually in Arlington, in Dallas, Texas, for the Improv. So that's gonna be great, the 24th through the 27th. And the thing I'm most excited about is just like you were talking about earlier, Kev, like when comics kind of disappeared, the ones that you've seen, and I can't lie, like that's one of the reasons why I like my show so much too. I took an idea of what I wanted from my career, and I got into radio, and I just kind of cherry picked what I wanted to do. But I did one thing that helped me out to this day, that I kept my comedy wits about me, meaning like I never got comfortable with radio. I always thought there was gonna be a trap door, which there actually wound up being, but I felt like I wanted to be a little anonymous at the time and a little bit, make my money and just not be out and about. Well, now this is part of, me going out of town with Bill Bellamy, going out of town with some more. Now I've built back my reputation to where clubs are calling and they're like, yo, we want you to headline. We felt like we had 2 headliners before and everybody love you. They're calling in. So now this is starting the journey of me going to do every club and be gone and do more stuff. So now it's changed my trajectory of my career back to being that #1 stand-up dude, and then letting everything fall in its place because I'm much more mature and I understand the business a lot better now too. So, everything works out for everybody the way it's supposed to. Man. Yeah, thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Congratulations. I'm happy for you, brother.
I got my man over hit me up and said, yo, he gonna be in Texas. I said, I gotta get him tickets. So my man Tim down there, he said, yo, he needs some tickets, man. So
I got him.
Yeah, that's my good friend, man.
Nah,
he said he cracked no jokes on you tonight.
Good.
But check out Rudy Rush is going to be April 1st. To what date again, Rudy?
Yeah, so I'm gonna be at Columbia April 1st and the 2nd. That's April Fool's weekend, so that's a great weekend for couples to get out. Also, I'll be this weekend if you're in Texas, in Dallas. I'll be at the Arlington Improv Thursday through Sunday, so it's gonna be crazy.
And if anybody promoters out there watching, how do they get in touch with you to book you and stuff like that?
Yeah, you could just hit me up at Rudy Rush, and then I'll kind of like give you my management information, and we could set up something.
Yeah,
so because yesterday's price is not
this man is back onto a Bill Bellamy, man. He was out there repping it with some more. That shit was so funny, man. I love my man Rudy Rush, man.
Yeah,
Rudy,
love you too, D.
Love her, man. Follow Rudy Rush on Instagram too. What's your Instagram, Rudy?
Yo, at Rudy Rush on everything. So even if you're on MySpace and you're over 55, come on, lady. I got something for you. I'll buy you a box of them pretty panties. Yeah.
Little thick ass Depends.
Hey, yo, real talk. I was dating this older lady and she threw him in the trash. I thought she was nasty. I was like, that's filthy. I thought she was a nasty chick. She was like, I got a whole box of them shits. She had the sexy Pampers. I said, I didn't know they came in a thong. God damn.
Hilarious. Oh my god. I mean, fucking laugh. I can't even wrap this part up. Please follow my man Rudy Rush on everything. You check him out when he's in your town. This guy's funny as hell. Walk up to him, he's a nice guy and loves meeting people. So I gotta say, this is my dude. This is my heart. I ain't gonna lie. No homo if y'all want to say that crazy dumb shit. This is my dude. Rudy, I knew you was 20 years old, bro. So they be going on fucking 30 years. So I was like,
Hey, when D had COVID, y'all, I was calling him every day, and the people I work with, they was like, oh, I called him every day. I was like, yo, I did kind of say it like that. I ain't want to lose my boy, man.
Rudy checked up every day. Where I love you. No homo shit, but that's funny. Listen, man, I love you, bro, man. Take it easy, man. Be safe and check him out, people, when he's in your town. Check him out. It's really funny.
Yeah. All right, fellas. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure, brother.
Always.
All right, peace, man.
Definitely.
Shit.
No, I forgot.
All right.
Shit. No, I forgot to ask him. Top 5 rappers, and I was fucking bad. I forgot about that shit.
Well, pull him back. There
Rudy, you back?
Nope, I'm in the bathroom.
Rudy, real quick.
I'm in the bathroom right now, son.
I know we on blue. We're gonna keep on going. We're gonna keep on. So Jamie brought you back. All right. One thing I want to ask you, it was Valentine's Day this past month, man. Did you have a Valentine? What you think about Valentine's Day? And for the ones for the side chicks, how you feel about how they valentine and all that kind of shit like that?
So check it. I did have a Valentine. I went to my youngest daughter. She actually, you can have lunch with them at school. So I went to her school because her older sister it was her birthday. So they was going to have, they had plans. So I went to her school, surprised her with some flowers. We had lunch at school. But let me tell you something, man. My daughter thinks she's slick because you get to sit on the stage and the cafeteria is like, 3 steps down. So I was like, where you want me to sit? She was like, sit here. So my back is to the cafeteria. So I'm thinking like she just wants some daddy time. And then in between, she go like this. I was like, who you waving at? Oh, that was Jason. I said, you just like your mama with that slick shit. Waving at niggas when I ain't watching. I was like, yo, you think you real slick, kid? No, let me tell you, side chicks, you got to know. This is one thing, and my man Bill Bellamy said it's funny. Like, side chicks got to know their holidays. That's it. If side chicks realize their holidays, they would be a lot better. Valentine's Day ain't for you. Yeah. Birthdays, like Christmas, that ain't for you. You got Groundhog's Day. April Fool's Day, President's Day, you might catch a lick. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. But yeah, just focus on those holidays and you be much better off as a side chick.
Yeah. Oh shit, man. That's hilarious, man. All right, man, real quick, man. Jamie's get on top 5 rappers, man. You got, man, right now.
Ooh, top 5 rappers. You know what? I like Kendrick, but I'm an old head. So I'm gonna put Kendrick at 5. I'm gonna put your man, I like 50. I'm gonna put 50 at 4. Big Daddy Kane is at my 2. I'm gonna put KRS-One at 3, and probably number 1, Ghostface Killer for me.
All right, that's what's up. I give respect for that, man. But Rudy, that shit was funny. Sorry, man. Jamie, don't kill me. I tried to bring him back. I had my few questions I forgot. I didn't bring him up. But anyhow, Rudy, this is fine. This is later. No goodbyes. We say later here, man. All right, man. So
all right, later, fellas.
All right, man. Stay up, man.
Later, y'all.
Sorry, Jamie. Sorry about that. Jamie, do you want to take us a quick commercial? And we come back with the rest of our show.
Jamie says no.
Is it a no? I don't know. I'm just making sure. Okay, Jim, you gonna keep on rolling?
Well, this is brought to you by.
Hi, I'm Dawn Kelly, and I'm the founder and CEO of The Nourish Spot, a healthy food and beverage haven in Southeast Jamaica, Queens. Chosen in 2019 as Micro Business of the Year by the U.S. Small Business Administration. My adult children, Jade and Owen Duncan, and I established the Nourish Spot to provide affordable access to healthy produce, to help our neighbors combat chronic diseases, to provide jobs for a diverse community youth. And it's no secret that small businesses play a critical role in the local economy. It's also proven that community is vital to the growth of small businesses. So come, let us nourish you at the Nourish Spot. We're open Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 6, and Saturdays, 10 to 6 p.m.
Welcome back. Please follow us, like us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Like and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend about the brothers on Let's Chop It Up. So,
and
man,
hit the thumbs up.
Hit the thumbs up.
Absolutely.
Those likes up. Yeah, man. So this is coming from question. Women, believe him when he says, "I don't want you." This is coming. We're going to give credit to our brother at Mr. Let It Go on Instagram. Show the videos, Jamie, real quick.
I have time. I'm trying to live my best life just like you. So with that being said, we can still always be friends. I will always be here for you. I'm only one call away, but relationship-wise, I'm done. I'm sorry. Now, I hate to say it that way, but it is what it is.
Ms. Richardson, here's why I asked you to hear that. Mrs. Richardson,
see, he want me to act the fool. That's
no. Oh, no. Ms. Richardson, look at me. Before, when he said a couple things, remember I asked you, did you hear him? Mm-hmm. He said that he don't want you 19 different ways. He said it when he didn't show for the heart attack. He said when he didn't show for the gunshot. He said it twice in here when he was talking about live your best life and all that kind of stuff. He keeps saying it, and I don't think you hear it. My mother always told me, never make a man tell you he doesn't want you more than once. He done told you 19 times. And I know you're hurt. Ms. Richardson, I know you're hurt, but I need you to hear that.
Yo, why is it so difficult for a woman to accept the words, I don't want you? Comment below.
I want to make sure I had that name wrong. I say his name is _Mr. Let's Go. That credit to him on Instagram. Brothers, any thoughts on that?
I think it's not relegated to just women. I think anybody is hard to hear that. I just think it's a tough thing to hear, especially if you have history with the person. It looks like they had history. And I think that's probably why it was worse. And you see, she immediately acted emotional, like he want me to act a fool in here. Like, no, he wants you to listen to what he's saying.
I think I've seen it in both ways. I've seen men and women that don't want to break up or whatever. It's not just a woman thing.
Right.
But the one part I do disagree with, and he said we could be friends. I'll still be there for you. You can't, not in a situation like that, because that still makes her think we're still together, or there's still hope for us getting back together. You got to totally break all ties, because I think that I don't know. She looked like she might have stabbed his ass once or twice.
Hot grits. Hot grits on his ass.
Yeah. Me personally, I would feel uncomfortable going to sleep around her, because she seems like she doesn't want to accept that the relationship is over. You know.
And you could see how she was ramping up, man. Like the domestic violence aspect was definitely about to pop off. Man. You know what I mean?
She wants me to act a fool in here,
right? Right. And you could tell by that vest and bow tie, he's been through a lot already.
Oh man, this show tonight is hilarious.
Oh my God. I didn't want to bring up that tie and that vest and stuff, but because that wasn't the topic. Elvin, I'm glad you brought it up. Yeah.
It must be some small town shit.
He should break up with his stylist too.
No, I don't think it's a small town thing.
No, because come on, look at that dude. No, reason I say look at him.
I see what you're saying.
Look at him. There must be no options.
Right.
No, D, you know better than that.
Looking
he might have been that guy. Looking like Carlton Banks. But no, he might have been that guy that may have treated her differently than she's may been treated in the past. So then maybe that's why she held on so close.
Ego.
So I don't know, but I believe if somebody wants to break up, then they should, because I was really good at breaking up with people.
But you know what?
When you break, you break.
I break.
When it comes to love or perceived love or something, it impairs your judgment. It does. Yeah. It impairs your judgment. That's just the reality of it. You do certain things for people. What I think people don't understand, at least I didn't understand it younger, doing more for somebody who is not interested in you is not going to help. No, it's not going to change it. It just doesn't change. In your mind, you think it does. You think it translates. It doesn't translate. And that's why you see somebody that doesn't do anything for a woman and she can't, stop following after them. Every Saturday there's girls pushing strollers up to the bus to catch the Rikers Island bus. I mean, that's just what it is. Certain people, that's what it is, no matter what. So my thinking is this: if someone's into you, there's nothing they won't do for you. If they're not, there's nothing they will, and that's it.
Yeah.
Well, I hope the sister. I don't know. Wish her the best. Wish my man. Hope you find a good stylist. Wish him the best on that. It got to be a small town. That dude was a goddamn. Anyhow, I'm just. Come on, y'all know y'all's thinking the same shit. What the rest say?
Okay, she said they don't want to treat you right, but they think you're supposed to leave. They think you're not supposed to leave. Yeah, you know, they don't want.
I don't want to say this because I did it last week and it burnt me, but we 30 minutes out from D not getting a scroll.
Oh
no,
I'm not.
I jinxed it. I think I jinxed it.
No, I'm not gonna say nothing.
Kelvin. Now he's gonna get it.
No.
This
video we about to show everybody on this shit should have the scroll.
Or are you doing, Kelvin? Are you doing reverse psychology?
I think I am.
Yeah, you want to see him get it. He's gonna get it. He got about 5 minutes. Kelvin
ain't shit, man.
I don't want to see his record broken.
I'm not. I
don't want to see the streak end.
It's not happening tonight. We got next. Oh yeah, 40-person fight breaks out in the Golden Corral over line cutting and stolen steaks. Jamie, play the native video, please.
Thank God there were no babies still in that baby chair. Thank God. You see how many baby chairs they threw in there?
Yo, man, I'm telling you, that was bananas.
The Boondocks. All I gotta say is the Boondocks. When he said when they throw a chair, the shit gets crazy, and that's the truth. When you throw a chair, it's over.
Dude, I thought that was a cafeteria at a high school. That's what it looked like to me. But the fight broke out over somebody cutting the line
and a steak.
Stolen steak. Oh, see, I can't understand that now. I can understand more about them fighting in there because maybe they ran out of grits or something. They ran out of cheese grits in there, and maybe it popped off. I mean, there's no excuse for that behavior. You fight in the Golden Corral. Come on, what do you pay, like $8 to get in there?
It's like $11.50 is all you can eat.
$11.50.
Maybe $15. I think with the drink is like $15, something like that. All you can drink and eat. I don't understand it.
But you know what I always ask? What is it? And this probably does lend itself to the situation about trauma and mental health and stuff. What is it that just makes people lose it? Like, I'm talking about when nobody can reel you in. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see some stuff like that, like literally it's this spontaneous combustion that all of a sudden, like these are adults literally at a place. It's a buffet style restaurant. They probably not out of the stuff, but it's like cutting somebody in line or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really not gonna risk getting hit by a chair because somebody gonna get the food before me or something like that. You know, and y'all get on me, but that's why I try to stay in native free environments. I'm just telling you. See, everybody going vegan and all this. I'm trying to go native free. That's what I'm trying to do.
Not gluten free, native free.
No, but
Rob, you gotta make that shirt for me, native free.
No, I'm gonna make a shirt that says not gluten free, native free. That's what's gonna be it.
Even a good steak.
She's right. She's right.
Yeah.
It's not even quality meat.
Yeah, I know we had that crazy look right there, man, because that was a crazy thing to look at, man. I didn't know what that was. I'm not sure what I was looking at. That was crazy.
Yeah.
When he said we need to keep an eye on Kelvin because he is giving me the vibe like he has been bullied. Oh man!
You know, I mean, it's amazing because I look at this stuff, and I mean, you look today and be like, you know, somebody shot up McDonald's or something like that for what? Look, the video of the girl going through a drive-through or whatever. I mean, it's just like, why? You got it. In major stuff, we don't care about. Mm-hmm. Major stuff that don't get us. But this, you know, somebody took the last annihilator or something. It's on now. I mean,
wow. Golden Corral. I think I might have been in a Golden Corral maybe one time in my life.
I gotta admit, I thought it was cool. I went down south. I always liked it.
I didn't like it. I didn't like
You
it.
like
I didn't think the food was good.
I did a lot
one of all you can eat, right?
Yeah,
it's just all you can eat. Yeah,
you go in there, you pay.
I think all those places have grade D food. Probably, if you have an all you can eat situation,
yeah.
They never had that in New York, man. We got way too much.
We don't have buffets in New York like that. It's rare.
Nah, they got all the Chinese buffets. That's what we had.
Yeah,
I don't even go to those. I can't even go to those.
You're sick in them shits.
I'm getting sick right now because we talking about it. I mean, literally, I can't pick those.
Only reason Golden Corral is because when I do college trips, it's easy to feed the kids.
Yeah.
You go there and all you can eat and they full and you can watch them all, and that's the only reason I go there.
But now you can't do that because their safety is at risk.
Yeah, it's like going to a Waffle House.
Yeah, it's like going to a Michigan game.
Oh God, poor
Juwan Howard slapping white men.
White men can't duck.
Yeah. There's no excuse for that behavior.
Nah.
Golden Corral is horrible and scary.
Yeah, it's disgusting. I didn't.
Sneeze guard, you have no business eating there.
Yeah.
Listen.
But I saw a fight one time break out in Pathmark and people throwing cards and stuff. I mean, the energy it take to pick up a card.
Yeah.
I mean, because this say 10 items only. You got 11. They count them apples individually. That's one bag.
Listen, my father's side of my family never had family reunions, and they try to have one. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. They had that shit at the Golden Motherfucking Corral. I did not go.
They had a family reunion at the Golden Corral.
I swear on everything, bro.
D, is that the same side of the family that Uncle Sambo?
Nah, Uncle Sambo on my mother's side. Rest in peace, Uncle Sambo, man. Rest in peace, Uncle Sambo.
Did you hear him, Kelvin? Rest in peace, Uncle Sambo.
Sleeping power, Uncle Sambo. Yeah. Sleeping power. Yeah. Oh man, I miss Uncle Sambo. Oh, okay, here we go. The NFL is hiring former Attorney General Loretta Lynch to fight against the lawsuit. What's my man name again? Flores, who just got a job with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
NFL hides in plain sight, brother.
Yeah, it does.
They hide in plain sight. They don't even care. We make so much money, we don't even care. That's just what it is.
Yeah. That's got to be the most cynical high I've ever seen, man. You know.
And she knows she's wrong too. She knows she's wrong.
I mean, let's be honest here. This is brilliancy at racism. That's what this is. This is brilliancy at racism.
No, you frozen in place, man. Completely.
Yeah, it's a strategic move. You know what I'm saying? I look, and you know what I'm gonna do? I'm not gonna jump on Loretta Lynch right away because we don't know what she's gonna do. But you know why she was placed in that position, correct? So you get was the first female Black Attorney General, right, to represent the NFL in a racist case. You know, I mean, it's masterful on their part. You know what I mean? And I'm sure she's going to make money hand over fist. But I mean, if she morally is going to defend them in a racist case, then it's definitely effed up. Loretta Lynch is not for her own people. She's for the
crowd. It's all strategic. You remember back in the day with the OJ trial, remember Judge Ito was the judge, not a white judge, not a Black judge.
Correct.
The Asian judge. Right. You know, whereas everything there's a purpose behind all of it. Yeah. You know, but I think that the truth of the matter is she's gonna take that L because to me, he has proof. He was no dummy. He made sure before he did this that he had his ducks in a row, I think. So we'll see what happens.
Well, let's see. But the thing is, the part that I was saying about, I don't know what she's going to do because I don't want to get on it too much, because she could basically be there to work out a good settlement so that the NFL doesn't get hurt too bad. You know what I mean? Like basically kind of put like sugar on a powdered on a plain donut, but still come out somewhere in the middle. Mm-hmm. So that's why I say I don't want to jump on her real quick and say that she's like a sellout or anything like that, because we don't know what the plan is. Is there going to be some sort of strategic settlement for Mr. Flores to make this go away with an NDA and we keep moving on? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I think him being hired by the Steelers at this time, and I also think it came out at a time at the end of the season. I think all that was strategic as well, too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Gives people time to forget about it at the end of the season. You know?
I think it's strategic, but also I think the Steelers really needed him.
Okay.
He needed because his mind for defense, he's the perfect fit, and for that situation to have that protection of that coach, also that could protect him and that organization as the Steelers. They had this black head coach for such a long time. They needed him, but it's a strategic time. It was best thing that he did actually land in Pittsburgh because it quiets it down noise a little bit for the NFL by him landing in Pittsburgh. But Pittsburgh actually, because we seen what Kansas City did to Pittsburgh, their defense is horrible. So this guy was a good fit. But the white man is always strategic, and he always used the black woman. And I know black women are gonna get on me, but he does use y'all to go against black men all the time. He thinks he can control y'all and talk to y'all differently and to do his dirty work on a lot of issues. He always does that. In the corporate America, look, when they want to right now, right? When they had to fill the minority thing, what they do? They hire black female, so they kill two birds with one stone.
Correct. Yeah. And I'm gonna piggyback on something he says. Yes, the black woman does get used against the black man. And if you don't understand that, all you gotta do is go to family court and you'll see it loud and clear.
Man, why do you bring that up, Ron? Goddamn, I want to get off the show. Sam, take us out. Man, family court.
Yeah, the Steelers are the most diverse team in the NFL historically. Side note, they own both the Steelers and the Giants.
They own both the Steelers. What do you mean?
Whoa.
They own both?
Yeah, who owns both?
I think the point may be the Steelers and the Giants are connected through marriage. Somebody from the Rooney family is related to somebody from the Mara or Tish family. So
clear that up, Tim. Clear
it up, Tiger.
So it's not the same ownership. There's they have a common relative that's married between the two franchises, but the Giants are owned by the Maras and the Tishes, and the Steelers are owned by the Rooneys.
Correct. That's correct. Yeah.
Kelvin got it right. Go ahead, boy.
Man, we got some good, some good listeners, man. We got some real smart people. I would have shot at the feds at tonight. I'm surprised Sean didn't make no comments. Oh, that's right. She in VA. She in VA tonight. Yeah, man. Got some good listeners. But I mean, NFL don't play no games, man, and they money long. I think they did the small. I think like you said, Rod, I think it's gonna be a settlement somehow. She's gonna probably negotiate some change in policy rules with Flores and all that other stuff. Like the Rooney rules is bullshit. Shit doesn't work. You know, that they designed that system, and the system actually. The Rooney rules work in the favor of the NFL. The system is working the way they want it.
You know what bothers me? What bothers me is this: the NFL is clearly racist. It's a good old boys club, right?
Oh, Shana, what up, Shana? What up? There she goes.
It's a good old boys club. The problem is, I'm very quick to boycott stuff, and I, for some reason, can't seem to do it. I've been with the Jets so long. I'm so used to losing. I feel like I can get something out of it. Like I got to see them win something one day. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, they print money and they're greedy. They're the greediest league in the world, no matter how much they make. It's just they over $10 billion a year industry, and it doesn't move the needle. The Jets been losing since I was little, and they just raised the parking prices. I mean, like, how do you do that off of like a 4-13 season? How do you raise the prices? You know what I'm saying?
The NFL with their rules reminds me of me and my wife's house. We don't put no rules in place that don't benefit us. The kids have to follow rules that benefit us. We're the billionaires in this house. And that's how the NFL runs their house. Same thing.
Right.
You know, the thing is, I never forget. I saw an interview with a professional athlete. I can't think of his name or whatever. He said that you have to understand something about billionaires. He says no is unacceptable to them.
Right.
They're too rich to accept no. So the thing is, that's the reason why they're billionaires, because they're used to getting what they want all the time.
Right.
And this will be no different. If you step out of line, you're gone. If you're in my way or you try to make this organization look bad, you're gone. So if I don't get what I want, who I want, that's an issue. People are going to fall. They get what they want. Money is power. They have too much power to accept no.
No question.
That's why you got to watch Billions, Rod. You would love that show.
I'm going to. I'm actually watching the next. I didn't tell you guys this, but me and my wife just finished all 5 seasons of Breaking Bad for the first time.
Yo, how'd you like it?
I thought it was amazing.
So
now,
my second favorite show for the Wire.
I did watch the Jesse movie, the spinoff El Camino, and I thought that sucked. So
oh yeah, that's trash. That was
that
garbage. I forgot about that shit. You mentioned I forgot about that shit.
Yeah, but I'm gonna. The thing is, Call Sal too is a spinoff from it.
Yeah, I gotta watch that.
Better Call
Saul.
Yeah.
I mean, Call Saul.
Yeah.
So Billions is next.
Yeah, good. That's good, man. Speaking of more NFL, some more NFL news. It's two black guys. We only gonna talk about one right now. Media mogul Byron Allen is preparing to purchase the Denver Broncos, reported by the Mile High Report. Byron Allen got more money than motherfucker, man. This brother got a lot of money. What he gonna do? Weather Channel and some other Comedy Central, some other stuff. So I mean, that'll be a good look. I think also the other brother was in the running to own it. Was the guy that gave all that money out at Morehouse. What's the brother name? Somebody can help me out. In the chat.
Oh yeah, the one that paid for all the kids. Student loans.
Yeah, I think he actually lives out in Denver himself. I think he lives in Colorado. I think he's out in Colorado himself. So, but what's your thoughts on Byron Allen, brother? If he does get the chance, because we know he has the money and he probably could get a team of people to also help him purchase this. What do you guys think?
Believe it or not, D, he don't have the money by himself. I think Byron.
I thought I say he don't have the money by himself. I say
he don't have.
He don't have it by himself. No, he doesn't have the money.
He's only, I think, and which actually shocked me. I thought Byron Allen was worth more. They said he's worth somewhere between 400 and 500 million.
Oh no, he ain't even close.
And they think you need to come up with like 30% of a team. If a team is like $4 billion, you got to come up with like 1.2 billion.
Robert Smith, that's a Tim. Thank you. Robert Smith has the money. Now he has the money.
Yeah,
he can do it. Yeah,
he has the money.
I think it's good. I think obviously the league is trying to put another Band-Aid on this, and so it results in some ownership, some diverse hires. Realistically, all the other owners have to vote when you get. That's another way they keep it the way it is. But all the other owners have to vote. But Roger Goodell and them are going to probably make sure that a minority group starts getting these teams, because that's the only way. I mean, realistically, other than that, you can't have really a voice in the sport unless you do have ownership. Like anything else, you need the ownership level. And when you get these groups of multimillionaires who actually can get a group together to do it, I think it's a great look. And I hope Byron Allen, I'll be honest with you, I'm always impressed with Byron Allen because I never thought he was funny at all. And he has made a boatload of money. He's had a show just for comics at night that comes on like 1 in the morning.
Corny ass show.
Yeah, and stuff like that. He would, but somehow he's maintained. I mean, we've known him for years. But congratulations to him in advance. Hopefully he or another minority owner will get it, and hopefully that can start when some of these older owners start passing away. If they don't give it to their kids, anything becomes available. Hopefully other groups will follow suit.
Byron Allen understands content. That's why he knows. He knows to put stuff out there that the networks and TV they're just looking to fill space and they're looking to fill time, and he gives it to them. That's why. He understands that.
Tim said, Broncos.
Yeah, the Broncos will be a good team for minority leadership, diverse city, good vibe overall, etc. Yeah, they would be.
They will give the black man the city where you can smoke weed every day. It would. I see what the NFL doing. I see what they're doing.
But he's perfect for them. He's perfect. He's got the perfect disposition, I would say, that they would like.
Yeah.
The only thing that I'm concerned about is, like I say, they say you have to own 30% of the team in order to hold the controlling shares. That means that makes you the boss.
That's why I like Robert Smith. I think Robert Smith's a better deal.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I just don't want Byron Allen to be in a position where he's the face of the team, but he ain't running shit.
Word.
Right. I mean, that's the issue that I'm talking about. So if he can't own 30% of the team, then he's not really the boss.
Right.
He just might be the face of the
Right.
They both safe picks.
Yeah.
They both safe picks. So hold up. I'm trying to get my producer Jamie. I'm trying to make sure I'm reading his hair. Okay. So we also watching the Chopper Brothers. First up is Uncharted. I didn't see this, but who saw this on the show and talk about it and what's it about, yo?
I saw it.
Okay.
I went with my wife and two of my girls, and Marky Mark and Peter Parker's in it. And
he said Peter Parker.
Yeah, it's Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland, the Spider-Man guy. But to me, his ass is Peter Parker.
That shit almost went over my head for a second. I'm like,
it's Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland. He was on one of the Spider-Mans. it had like an Indiana Jones feel to it. It was an action movie where they were going and trying to find some gold from like some old ship wreckage where pirates left gold, like artifacts and stuff like that. So it had the Indiana Jones feel, and it seems to me that there's going to be continuous series of this in the as a movie, like Indiana Jones type of thing.
So this is in the movie theater. This is in the movie theater.
This is in the movies. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I made the mistake of paying for this, but
I mean, so this is a chop it.
I'm gonna say for me it was a chop it. My girls liked it, but they're kids. You know what I'm saying? But,
yeah.
It wasn't for me. And my wife thought it was okay, but it wasn't something that I didn't want to race out to the theaters.
But you said it's kind of like it was good for the kids, though. You know what I mean? And
it was cool for the kids.
Personally, I'm always looking for stuff like to get the kids out and do. And I the fact that you said that the movie theater is open right now, I honestly didn't even realize it, man.
They've been open.
They've been open for a while.
They've been open, yeah.
To show you where I'm at with it, man. You know what I mean? I can't be the only one. So so that's a good idea. Maybe I can get my kids out. They got a week off, so maybe we can get something going and get them to.
Your boys are young, right, Derek?
No,
they're gonna like it.
11,
they're gonna like it. They're gonna like it. They're gonna like it.
Yeah. Maybe
question is, will you like it? But sometimes
I'm certain not, but it's not even about me, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. But I'm gonna say, for me, as a grown ass man, it's a chop it.
Okay, all right.
Mark
will franchise a movie.
Yeah. Like I said, you always and they doing it like the Marvel series. You have to stay after the credits to see the next saga. So the movies are going to that, like waiting to see what the next story is going to be about.
Bad movies, man. You better than me, right? I swear I'll be asleep. 30 that shit don't take over 30 minutes. I'm out cold in the movie theater, bro.
I can't go to sleep because my wife keeps nudging me every time I start snoring. And you got to realize we go to the theater with the reclining chairs.
So them chairs. Them chairs.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Ronnie lives like white folks. I'm still going to.
That's the best sleep I ever got on.
I live like black folks are supposed to live.
I know. Yo, listen, I go to the movie theater in East New York, man. It's like like sitting in the Spirit Airlines chair.
I would never go to the movie theater in East New York.
I can't. Wait, not the one on Linden, D.
No. I only went there. Listen. Let me tell you a story real quick. I know we can take time. It was Get Out. Sally wanted to go see Get Out, and we looking trying to figure out where we could find that. And I said, "Damn, that shit's only at Linden Theater." I said, "I don't know if I'm going to."
We wouldn't have saw it.
She said, "No, she didn't know nothing. She just she fresh out of North Carolina from down.
Yeah.
She didn't know nothing. So she's like, "Yo,
you know."
I said, "Listen, I don't know. This is some hood shit." She said, "I can't be that bad." Yo, I ain't gonna lie. That shit was so hood. They was talking to the screen. Niggas had it. I won't say niggas because these were niggas. These weren't even native. These were niggas.
Next to the pink houses, right, D?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pink houses.
Yeah. Top of the pink houses. It's in the pink houses. Yo, there's pink houses, apartments in the theater.
It was the best experience though, because it felt when you watch a black kind of movie with real natives, it make the movie even better. But it was a scary experience. I had to bring 2 guns, a knife, and a whip.
Yeah, you gonna get the scroll. What?
No, I ain't saying that.
You said whip.
Oh, hey, no scroll. Let's keep going. Before you notice.
He down to the wire now.
Yeah, you got right. Yeah.
No,
he might do it. He might pull it off.
I'm gonna pull it off.
He could go.
No way.
Y'all ain't shit.
Oh, I thought that was it. I thought that was it.
I thought it was it too.
Look at me having a heart attack.
Yo, tell him, Shauna, right? Shauna saw jingle. I'm telling you, next time you have to. Listen, anytime when the black movies come out, we need to take a field trip. Rodney, bring your gun, and we're gonna go to East New York and watch.
It ain't gonna help me there.
I'm telling you, the chairs
ain't gonna help me in the pink house.
Chairs don't recline. The chairs are just like this.
Yo, they in a metal chairs. That's what they are.
Yeah.
And the popcorn don't got that popcorn maker. We got a microwave and everybody keep pressing 30 seconds.
Yo, the popcorn smell like oxtails in there.
Word up. Got a metal detector, all kind of shit. Different. I love it. Love it. Gotta go to East New York for a movie, man. So I'm telling you, it's the best experience ever. Now,
yo, it's go ahead. You know when you come in and the people that they check your ticket in East New York, they probably say, "Yo, where the fuck your ticket at?"
You're right. Look what's on the road.
Yo, I would be. I told you, my gun wouldn't help me. They had me running out of there like crazy.
It's the best. Man. I'm telling you, I gotta go to any hood movie theater when a black movie come out. I'm telling you, it's an experience, man.
I like to go places where I'm the only one carrying a gun.
Oh, okay. Oh, Jim,
not everybody's carrying them.
No, Jim's we only got 5 minutes. Okay, next I'm gonna watch and chop it. Bel Air on Peacock Network. I watched all 3 episodes. I watched them last night. Yeah, I watched them all yesterday. Actually, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a dark version of the Will Smith stuff. If you're looking for that whole Fresh Prince goofy stuff, this ain't it. It's a little bit more darker with a little bit of humor, but they touch on a lot of topics of today. With Will, like the gun, young kids in urban neighborhoods, the gun violence stuff. Uncle got to deal with some kind of racism things, but they got a little bit of power, the ups and downs. Kids trying to school. Carlton trying to figure out who he is, and Carlton's on drugs, y'all. I'm gonna tell you on this one. Carlton's on drugs on this one.
Oh, he's a crackhead.
Yeah. And Jeffrey's not from England. He's from Jamaica. I enjoyed it.
Respect.
Okay. I love the drama.
Right. So
she said it's a
watch. Yep, I'm telling you, man, it's a watch. I'm telling everybody, this is a little different. If you're looking for the '90s Will Smith, this ain't it. This is like really dealing with topics of racism, community stuff, all the kind of stuff like that.
Mini crackhead. Okay.
Word up. Call him a crackhead, y'all. Call him a crackhead.
Trying to check it in, yeah, saying.
And I like that Will's dating a sister that's not the typical old skinny, little boom 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 body. She look like a sister. A regular sister that happens to swim.
Jeffrey's undergoing a game, Lord.
God damn! Don't spoil it for me, no, right?
Oh man!
But it's just, I think everybody should watch it on Peacock. If you don't have Peacock, because it's one of the streaming services, go get yourself a Fire Stick, and then get the jailbroken Fire Stick.
Oh, here it comes!
Nope.
Oh yeah! Yo!
He's promoting bootleg.
No, I think it's got to be. No, I think it's got to be for that. We can't let the viewers think.
He didn't get it.
I'm not
so wait. Did you say what was that last apparatus you said?
No. This is alleged. People that do this, they allegedly have this jailbroken fire stick.
You know how the shot clock is going down.
I want to ask Shauna. Did Shauna hear that? Because she's the feds. Did she hear that?
She's on
vacation. We had a 2-minute warning.
2-minute warning.
I'm holding the ball.
Yeah.
I'm running out the clock.
All right. Don't let Jamal Howard come through.
All right, man.
Everybody that's watching the show, if D makes it, I want everybody, if you're watching on YouTube, to hit a thumbs up on the YouTube.
Right? I'm making it because I'm about to wrap it up right now. Everybody, they can watch another episode.
Proud of you, though, D. Proud of you.
See, I'm no hair thing, man. Thank you for watching another episode of Let's Chop It Up. Please follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Like and subscribe. Like Rodney said, thumb it up. Like the Fonz, we love you all. We want to say peace, and peace.
Congratulations.